What's going on, Vikings fans? Welcome in the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Seatman, and coming up on today's show, it is a fun one. Where first off, we're going to be going over what Colin Cowherd and John Middlecoff had to say about the Vikings win over the Green Bay Packers yesterday. And then I hopped into all 22 film, and I chose some of my favorite plays from the game yesterday, and a lot of these are going to be shouting out Justin Jefferson, Sam Darnold. So stay tuned for that. We got a fun show for you guys. But before we dive into it, I do just want to first off just saying thank you to you guys. We crossed over 48,000 subscribers here on the channel yesterday, and heading into the season, I put a very lofty goal out there of 40,000 subscribers, and you guys have crushed it. The support that you guys have been showing on the channel has been better than I could ever imagine. So I do want to say thank you guys for all the people who hit that subscribe button. Like our videos, comment down below. I know we ask you guys to do it all the time, but it really does help us just stay in that YouTube jet stream. So hey, if you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button, lock us in, and I post a Vikings video almost 2 times a day. So if you guys don't want to miss anything around your favorite football team, hit that sub button. All right, let's dive into it. What did our good old friend, Colin Cowherd, had to say about the Vikings win yesterday? So we started off saying, let's be honest, Kevin O'Connell's play calling and development is excellent. And between Jefferson, Addison, and Naylor, the Michigan State kid, they have an incredible wide receiving group. Here is the thing I take away. They are asking Darnold to make big boy throws. These are hard. Even when they're leading late in the fourth, I'm like, guys, lighten up. But this is not a dink and dunk. These are tough throws. And I thought this was a little funny when I heard Cowherd say this, because my initial reaction to this was, hey, Colin, we've known this. Like, I have been going back here on the channel for the last couple of months saying the Vikings are not treating Darnold like he is just a system quarterback, like a guy like a Tua, like a guy like a Brock Purdy. No, they are asking Darnold to make Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow-esque plays on a weekly basis. And what he has done with that opportunity, he has turned himself into one of the best quarterbacks in the entire NFL, in my opinion. And one thing I was thinking about with a lot of the conversation in the NFL right now, who should be MVP? Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Why aren't we giving Sam Darnold more love for the MVP conversation? Because one, I always saw it, all these big-time media heads, they always said, it's a quarterback award. Record means a whole lot. So let's just break it down. So Sam Darnold, and let's just say he goes into Detroit next week and he beats the Detroit Lions, and he is 15-2. He has the number 1 seed in the NFC, and he would also be top 5 in passing yards per game, top 5 in yards per pass, top 5 in passing touchdowns, and top 5 in passer rating. I mean, I just don't get it. Like, what is the criteria? Why hasn't Sam Darnold emerged as an MVP, not only just contender, but a favorite? And that's what I don't get. And I think a lot of this has to do is that, we start the MVP conversation so much, like, early on in the season, where Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, they are having unbelievable years. Don't want to take even Saquon Barkley. Unbelievable seasons from those three. But I think if we look over the last couple of weeks here, who has upped their case better than anybody? I think it's Sam Darnold. I think if you had to pick an MVP throughout the month of December, it has to be number 14. The man's 5-2. Or 5-0, excuse me. He's got 15 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions, and he really has been the driving force to the Vikings, being one of the best teams in not just the NFC, but the entire NFL. So what did John Middlecoff, former NFL scout, had to say about Darnold? He says, he treats this guy, talking about Kevin O'Connell, like he is Mahomes meets Joe Montana. Complete trust. Honestly, you remove 2 throws, an interception where he got greedy, and the throw he airmailed to Addison. He was as good as Mahomes, Allen, or Lamar. That was a dominant performance. And this is the quote that I love the most from Middlecoff. He says, with how much hype and pressure that was around this game, sometimes you can be overjuiced. To go 17-22 in the first half and just slice and dice this team, I had to go immediately. I had to Google Jordan Love's contract. And if I'm Sam Darnold and we beat Detroit next week, I am not taking anything less than that. And listen, there is already a ton of conversation. There's been a ton of conversation about, Sam Darnold, J.J. McCarthy, what's going to happen here in Minnesota. I just want, all you Vikings fans, and I'm not saying you have to take this approach and have to take this mindset heading into the rest of the season, but enjoy this season. That is an off-season conversation. we're in the dog days after the Vikings win the Super Bowl, down there in New Orleans. We have all offseason to talk about this. And already this season, we're already at week 18, number 1 seed on the line. It has flown by. So just enjoy this. Enjoy every, day in between the games. Enjoy every video that, I post, Purple for the Win, Score North, all those guys. Consume all that content you can, because this season, it's going to be gone in a blink of an eye, just like that. So all this reckless speculation, all this crazy conversation around Sam Darnold, J.J. McCarthy, I just, personally, how I'm going to approach it, it's an off-season conversation, because obviously a lot can change. If the Vikings lose their last 2 games, they're one and done in the wild card round, I'm sure what we think of Sam Darnold will change, but also if you take the optimistic view, if he goes out there and he wins a Super Bowl, I'm sure a lot of us would be saying, yeah, F it, pay him $55 million a year. But Colin Cowherd, I thought this was funny. He opened up his show today with this: I've been mocked, ridiculed, and laughed at. It hurt my feelings. He was kind of joking. And then he goes, why is Sam Darnold not in the MVP conversation? Colin Cowherd, I'm a big fan of yours. You do a great job. Obviously, we all know that. But Cowherd, we have known this. We have already known this, and don't go take your victory laps now, Colin. I remember a couple months ago, even you were hinting at that, maybe this Vikings run is kind of a fugazi, and, it's not going to be, that, or it eventually is going to turn into pumpkin mode there. But, I also find it funny, just me consuming all this content from Fox Sports, ESPN. It's just crazy how all of these big media heads now are showing love to the Vikings. It only took a 14-2 season to have these guys kind of turn their heads and be like, oh, maybe the Vikings are actually good. Maybe this is not a fluke. I, over a month ago, said the Vikings are going to the Super Bowl. And yes, I'm not saying I have the crystal ball right here and my word is the end all be all when evaluating football teams. But, here, me, you guys watching this video, we have already known how special this Vikings team is. So I think it's just a little funny that it took the Vikings to go 14-2 to finally get some love from the national media. But honestly, that's the way I'd like it, is these guys just kind of, disrespecting what we have going on here in Minnesota. But I got a really personal question for you guys here. What say you on this one? What is your favorite Vikings team of all time? Because I think the one we have right now is slowly climbing up the ranks for me personally. And I'm a 25-year-old Vikings fan, so I didn't really get to experience the 98 team. 2009 was up there for me, but I was only 10 years old at the time. 2017 was great with Case Keenum and that Mike Zimmer defense. But if I had to pick my favorite Vikings team of all time, I don't care how the season ends. I'm probably going with the 2024-25 Minnesota Vikings. If you guys let me know your thoughts down below. Now we'll dive into my top plays and hop into all 22 film room here in a second. But first off, I got to tell you guys about today's presenting sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. Now, if you guys download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS, you guys will get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today. Use code CLNS. Get $50. $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Now, what is Prize Picks? Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in award winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Now, if you guys want to add any more juice to, the Vikings-Lions game this weekend, or a Timberwolves or Wild game throughout the week, creating a Prize Picks lineup is the best way to do so. They got basketball, football, hockey, any sport you can think of. You guys can create a Prize Picks lineup for it. So check them out. Link for that is in the comment section and description of today's show. But download the app today. Use code CLNS. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today. Use that promo code CLNS and get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. A massive shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show. Prize Picks. Run your game. All right, all 22 time. My favorite plays from the Vikings beatdown of the Green Bay Packers. So this is the Jalen Naylor touchdown, first touchdown of the game. Jalen Naylor right over here. He's in the right slot, ball on the left hash. Sam Darnold in the shotgun, running back to the left of him. Jefferson up here, split out wide. Looks to be one-on-one coverage, but as all teams do, they roll the coverage over 18's way. And what is this guy supposed to do? See his Packers defender up here? He's supposed to be guarding this deep half right here. Well, when you have number 18 running that deep in route, which is his bread and butter, what does that leave available? Let me take your head off real quick, and let me put a 40-yard bomb over your head, and let me connect with my man, Speedy Naylor. Also, great route by Naylor on this play. This was awesome to see, and also just having Jalen Naylor emerge. it just feels like, last week against Seahawks, Dallas Turner had a pick. Jalen Redmond stepping up, and now you got Jalen Naylor, Cam Akers making plays. Again, I think that goes back to the culture that's within this building. But let's get to play number 2 here. So Sam Darnold, he's under center in this one. He's got 2 wide receivers split out wide. And, this was, in my opinion, my favorite play of the season, just because of the route that Jordan Addison put on him. So Addison's right here in the slot. He's going to run like a deep, I don't know what you call it, like a curl, and then he's going to go up the sideline in a wheel route, and Jefferson's just running, again, his bread and butter, the deep end. So it sets up like this. Here is the look. So this safety all the way up there by the Vikings end zone, he is following Jefferson across the field. And then Addison, he's sitting down there acting like he's catching a little quick hitch, and what does he do? Whips around a little like that OBJ route back in the day, and Darnold obviously put it on the money for Addison, but this was nasty out of Addison. Honestly, I had to go back and look at that play just to make sure like that was the design. I didn't know if Addison just kind of freestyled that, but also something here to look at. I'll go back to the freeze frame before. Darnold right here, he is looking left, so he's trying to take all the attention that way, move all the Packers defenders to the left side of the field, and then obviously it was wide open, Jordan Addison in the back of the end zone. But let's dive into another just fantastic play by this football team. So this was the Justin Jefferson, not a catch, but would have been one of the best catches of all time. They moved Addison, motion here, motion back, so there's clear man coverage, and you had Jefferson one-on-one, again, deep in breaking route. You guys will hear me say that all the time. But Jefferson right here, run across the 35-yard line, and look at the screenshot. This was nasty. I mean, he catches the football on the other side of his head. He was able to bring it down. Cam Robinson get called for a hold on that one. A little disappointing, but this was one of the best plays of the year. I mean, this would have been catch of the year. Sam Darnold also put this ball. He threw it probably 120 miles per hour, and Jefferson, quick, late hands, was able to bring it down one-handed. That was just absolutely nasty. Now, I do want to highlight another big-time play from this game. This will be the last one we go through. So this was second and long. I think it was 2nd and 12 was the situation. Vikings are trying to end the game here. And this was the play before the Cam Akers falling on his tail, and he caught the football. But this play, I think, was probably the clutchest play out of the Vikings. So it was a typical bootleg. You got to see Darnold all the way over there at the 35-yard line. Jefferson right here running across, and he's got 2 guys around him. He is completely getting smothered. But what does Darnold do? Somehow fit it into an extremely tight window. Also, Jefferson was getting grabbed, almost pulled down to the ground on this play, but he was still able to catch the football, man. It's just really special, like the connection Darnold and Jefferson has. And, I obviously think Burrow and Chase have the best, quarterback wide receiver connection in the entire National Football League. But in my opinion, like Jefferson, Darnold, could they be 2? Like, really, I can't think of any other ones. Like, there's some like Goff, Amon-Ra, like they're great. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, they got a great connection as well. But I think right now, fourth quarter, who am I rolling with? I got Kevin O'Connell, I got Sam Darnold, I got Justin Jefferson. I'm riding with those guys any day of the week. But let's close it out here. Who you guys got? Vikings, Lions, Week 18, Ford Field. Detroit's going to be loud. I can't wait. But you guys let me know who you got. Give me a V for the Vikes or give me an L for the Lions. We'll get on out of here. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your Monday night. See you guys next time. Let's go Vikes.